All good. How's Skeggy?
Yeah, good, just having a few cans, yeah. Might be a bit hard when you've had a few beers, mightn't it? I think it was when we done it the other week. It was relatively easy, wasn't it? But see how tonight goes.
See what goes. See what goes. I'm on the non-alcoholic stuff, so.
Why, yeah. What's that? What is it? Guinness, is it?
Yeah, yeah.
Any
Zero
good?
Guinness. The zero stuff's decent. Really, it's better than most zero lagers, to be honest.
Yeah, never tried it. Never
But
tried any
I'm
of it.
not a big Guinness. I'm not a big Guinness drinker, so I can't. I can't tell the difference, but everyone else probably can.
We'll make a bit of start. So should we just dive in? Shall I start the betting part then? Yeah.
Go for it, yeah.
So we had our test run 2 weeks, so it was FA Cup, so it was a bit tough. I thought the FA Cup one, we didn't get anywhere near it. So I'll tell you the picks, what we've got for this week's games, what Danny's sent across. So Danny's in work again. He's hoping to join the next one. So the picks, what he sent me was, let's get them both up. So Danny's went with Arsenal to beat West Ham 2-0. He's went with Everton to beat Man United 2-0. And he's went with Southampton 0, Brighton 2. So he's went 2-0 on all three matches. That's around 5-1. What are your thoughts on those three games?
Can't really argue against them all, to be honest. Arsenal, you're fully expecting to beat West Ham. Everton, I've been banking quite a few points since Moyes got back, and Man United are just they're right off a cliff. So you can fully expect that. And to be honest, Southampton are just terrible across the board. So again, you could just see, and it's a bit of a derby. Brighton will be up for this, but yeah, I couldn't argue with 2-0 across the board on all of them, to be honest. It seems like a good shout, and 5-1 is probably reflected in that.
Yeah, I think Arsenal's a banker. I think Brighton should be a banker away to Southampton. Everton are doing really well. United seem to be getting worse, not better, don't they? So it seems to be logic in them three. I'd agree with them. So they're the three tips. We'll post them on the Instagram. Thibaut did send his across, so we'll read his out. If he jumps on, we'll get his thoughts. So he's went Bournemouth to beat Wolves. He's went Fulham to beat Palace. And he's went Spurs away to Ipswich. So Spurs to beat Ipswich. What do you think on them three?
The Fulham one worries me slightly, just because Palace, I always find, is just a bit of an unknown quantity. You don't know what you're going to get. Fulham have been decent at home, but Palace can always pull one out the bag. Spurs, you'd fully expect them to beat Ipswich. But again, you just don't know what Spurs are going to turn up these days. But yeah, Bournemouth, at home against Wolves. Wolves just seem to be getting poorer and poorer as the weeks go on. So yeah, I think that's a good shout. But yeah, the Fulham Palace one would worry me slightly.
Yeah, I think it's a low scoring one. That Fulham always seem to win 1-0 or win 2-1, don't they? And Palace don't think score many and don't concede many. I'm not too sure how good Fulham's home form is, but again, I think Bournemouth have been playing well this season, very well. One of my favourite teams to watch, I think. So, yeah, they get loads of chances to have loads of shots and things. Tottenham are getting a few players back, aren't they? That's the difference with Tottenham. So maybe, and Ipswich have been poor, haven't they?
Yeah, and only for Delap. They'd be in a much worse position. He's managed to bag them some goals. So, I'd fancy Spurs, but maybe not a 0. I think they can still concede, and with Delap being there, maybe a 2-1, a 3-1 to Spurs, I'd probably go with there. But yeah, I could see Ipswich at least get something.
Yeah, the left back's good for Ipswich as well, isn't he? I don't know what his name is. He's got a good left foot. He's got a few assists.
You'd expect him to, Cole. Left back's got a good left foot. Fucking hell.
What I meant by that is he's got quite a few assists this season in the Championship as well. He got quite a few assists as well. Can't think of his name though.
I haven't got a clue. The only one I know left backs is Kirkes, I think, of Bournemouth. He's the only one I know.
Look like three solid picks to me, don't they? Both look like three solid picks. If you put them all together, if you want to do a six-fold, be really ambitious. 30-1 on a six-fold. Danny scores as 2-0. If he's done the 3-2-0 matches, because he likes doing the scores, doesn't he, Danny? That's 600-1.
Well, it's a lot better than the odd last week. What was it, 1,400-1, something like that?
Yeah. I think we're not big betters, me and you are. I might do a five on each and then a pound on the scores. Just to recap, then the teams, what we've got, what we're doing, or what we'll do is what they've suggested is a treble is Arsenal, Everton, and Brighton. That was one treble, and then for stay for Bournemouth, Fulham, and Tottenham, they're both around 5-1. Those trebles, or the sixfolds, if you're feeling a bit mad, is 30-1. So that's what they've went with.
Just having a quick look at Thibaut's picks. Let's just see what he's got. So he's done Bournemouth against Wolves. Now, Bournemouth have won 3 in the last 5. Wolves won 1, which is, Villa, so arguably a derby there. Going on to Fulham and Palace. Let's have a look at these. Both really similar form, but won 3 in the last 5. Fulham beat Forest, beat Newcastle away. That was a really good one. Beat Leicester away, but got beat by Man U at home and beaten 3-2 away to West Ham. And if you're looking at Palace, lost the last game against Everton, beat Man U away, which is a great result. Lost at home to Brentford, but then beat West Ham and Leicester 2-0 in both respective games away.
Let's see how they get on then. Let's see how they get on this week. But they're the 2 sets of trebles and the sixfold. So we'll do that again just for a bit of fun, isn't it? What was your disclaimer? What you put on last week?
Don't put the mortgage on it. Yeah, as we always say, gamble responsibly, please. We'll put all the links to Gamble Aware and whatnot on the videos. But yeah, please don't be silly when you bet. Just only bet what you can afford and use bet breaks and all the tools that it gives you. Basically, don't be a dickhead.
Here you go. So that's our betting sections up for this week, yeah? Ian, great to see you. How are you?
I'm right, mate, yourself?
Yeah, good, thank you. Love the cheap fills, so thanks for the first recommendation.
What a band, mate.
Yeah, and then I asked you for the second one, you said Casino, didn't you? I love them. They're brilliant, aren't they? They're really good.
Mate, unreal. If you can, you should come to the gig at the end of March.
Where is it?
It's in Frodsham.
So, a Casino, are they on?
Yeah, Casino are headlining. I'm just announced, well, not announced it, sorry. Tom Collins is going to open up with his band, like, he's decent. Yeah, we did a gig at the Jacaranda on Saturday, just gone.
That's right, how was that?
Yeah, that was good. We had Harry Whiston, who used to be the front man of a band called Sifter, really good. And a young band called Short Notice, they were decent. And then a band called Lunar Drift. The lead singer used to be in a band called, God, is that many bands? Can't remember. No, it's gone. Anyway, they were really good. And then Big Wizard, they're like psychedelic. They were decent as well. And in the end, it pretty much sold out, so it was fine. It was a good gig.
Yeah, we're away this week, but I've seen it on your Instagram again, and I think again, for £5-7 to watch 3 or 4 bands.
Yeah, just announced next month's one at Jacaranda with the Spitting Pips, who are a band from North Wales, but they were around probably about 10 years ago. So the 2 original members with 2 new members. They did like a European tour and stuff like that. So they were doing all right, and obviously, as bands do, to split up. So we've got a band from Stoke called Fawn, who I know the guitarist of. One from Wigan called River, and then another lad from North Wales called Dylan Ratcliffe. So should be a good one. Should hopefully sell out, that one.
I was going to say, when you said short notice, did you book them in advance? But
yeah. Well, to be honest, these are an under-18 band, which we don't normally have on, but they were really good. Like, I mean, they did a couple of covers, but because we were under-18, a lot of their parents bought tickets, which is nice.
So what good. Music? What type of music do they play? The under-18 bands?
Just mainly like sort of indie, like Fontaines DC punk type stuff. They did a Rage Against the Machine cover at the end.
Yeah, I remember this now.
Yeah. Can't think what it's called, but yeah, it's a great tune anyway. So that was a good gig, mate. I enjoyed it.
We'll have to try and get on the next one. Try and get the lads on this. Just try and get down, have a few beers, and
as I say, you're welcome. I mean, March 15th, and then March is Jacaranda. Then March 27th is Casino at Cash 22.
I'll try and get to one then. So tell us a little bit about Casino for this week then. What do you know about Casino? How they Yeah, then anything about them.
They're just a really good band from Liverpool. I got onto them through another promoter called This Feeling. And I spoke to George from This Feeling, just saying, have you got any contact details for Casino? And they, as I said last week, they're managed by Ian Brody's son, which is always a good starting point. Like, he's a really nice lad, actually, Riley. But he is actually in the Lightning Seeds as well.
Oh, nice.
So when I was watching Glastonbury on telly a couple of summers ago, I was like, hey, I know that guy. So yeah, he was on telly, obviously, with the Lightning Seeds. But yeah, he manages them. Good guy. They're just very different to any other Liverpool band. They're very soulful. Like, I don't know if you listened to any of the tunes.
Yeah, when you told me about them, the first thing I do, and it's like when you told me about the cheap fills, I'll download them, I'll put a playlist in, I'll listen to them a few times, and I got that impression from them. They're a bit indie soul, aren't they?
Yeah, his voice is unreal, mate. They've got a couple of tunes. My favourite is "By Your Side," which is just class, and then It Hit Me, just brilliant, mate. So, but they played a festival for us in Stoke not last summer, summer before, called Your City Festival. They were like the headline band on this Saturday. We had like an outdoor stage, really good. And the guy who run the festival, Ben, top bloke, he was like, this is the most well attended stage of the weekend, which was our stage, which is great. So, but they had some like Northern Soul dancers come down to watch them. They were like doing like spins and kicks and all that sort of stuff.
Yeah,
It's just good to watch. Like, really good. But yeah, I absolutely love them, mate. I think as I say, I think they've supported Zootons and obviously Lightning Seeds, and I think they did a big academy show last year. So I'm expecting bigger things from them this year. I'm sure they'll be playing bigger festivals and bigger stages. So
yeah. How many people are in their bands? But it looked like they
I
had
think
from the video.
it's 5. Yeah, I think so.
Yeah,
But you know, they're just really good lads, and I'm looking forward to seeing them again. So
yeah. I'll share them on the Instagram, and people can search for them as well. Because when you sent it, I searched, and I came up 1 or 2 Casino bands, didn't I? And
there's Casino Club actually, who are a band from Wigan. They're a band we've had on. They're making decent waves. Like Marcus, the lead singer, is a great lad. But yeah, Casino Club, check them out as well. They're really good.
Yeah.
There's another band I was going to mention to you, a band called the Zang Wills. I don't know when this pod is going to go out because they've got a massive headline gig this Saturday at Band on the Wall in Manchester.
Okay, we'll tap it.
Yeah, it might go out after the weekend. I don't know, but yeah, a band from Chester and Norwich called the Zang Wills with the Z. They're just unreal, mate. Have a listen to them when you get a minute.
What are they called? The Zang Wheels.
Zang Wills.
I'll
send you some tunes. Zang Wills, yeah.
Definitely.
Just a really good band, but they're doing a headline, probably their biggest gig to date this Saturday at Band on the Wall, which is a great venue in Manchester. But I would normally be going, but I'm in Belfast this weekend. So, but yeah, no, it's just there's so many good music out there, mate. It's just too many to mention really. I'm already thinking about other bands we could mention. There's a band called Indoor Shoes, which definitely worth checking out.
Yeah, big thank you for joining. And
no problem, mate.
There he is, Jolly.
Evening, you alright?
All right.
Hi, Con.
How'd your presentation go?
It was a cup draw. We went down to Helen Eccles, not far from your ends, and did a cup draw for a few League Cup and League Trophy draws. So I got to put my name on the warm balls.
Tell you what, was it like Donald Trump when he done it, or Rod Stewart?
Yeah, Rod Stewart with the
Rod Stewart. Fucking Rod Stewart. Oh my God. He was bladdered, wasn't he? Put my hands on the warm balls. Brilliant. So we had a little chat just before, didn't we, Joel? And I think it's too hard to pinpoint anything out of the derby. But obviously, the last time you were on, we were talking about Michael Oliver and how, he's clearly the best referee. But I guess spoke about how you could almost compare some of the things that went on in the derby to some of the things that happened in last night's game, the Liverpool Villa game, by way of a comparison. So any kind of insight you can give us, any kind of things you can go, actually, that was done well or that wasn't done well, and anything like that?
Yeah, I think we spoke last time about how sort of calm and composed Oliver was. I think it was the Arsenal-Man City game. Oh no, that was Peter Banks. Just in general, how calm and composed he is. I think that approach in the derby was a bit inconsistent. I think he was really, really calm in some ways, and then quite reactive in other ways. Obviously, we know it boiled over massively at the end, and I don't mind that. And sort of Slots admitted to saying something he shouldn't have done at the end. I know that's sort of boiled over. I think in the game he was sort of reacting a bit more to the atmosphere than we would have liked to have seen as a neutral, maybe. I think it's probably hard to pinpoint one decision to say, oh, that was a howler again. But I think it was in what we said last time around sort of reacting to the game state and the emotion of the fixture, obviously goes without saying. I think it was an almost impossible game for him to manage. And I personally, in the first half, thought he was having a good game. And in the second half, it went to shit. Nothing major in there, but it's the reacting to the fouls or not reacting to the fouls and allowing, sort of time to be managed better in Everton's favour. I know I've probably got me Liverpool glasses on here, but in comparison to last night, the Aston Villa game, not as emotional, but still quite good in the quality of the game. It was end to end the time. It was a basketball game. I think Craig Pawson, the ref, dealt with that quite well. Let stuff go that should have been let go, waved stuff away, but reacted to stuff in the right way when it needed to be. I know McAllister took quite a bit of a kick in a few times, I noticed in the first half, but I think the fouls that he gave against them were right. I think the ones he waved away were also right. And then I think probably the biggest decision in that game was more the handball in the lead up to the goal, which I don't think was a handball. Too close to him, too far back in play anyway. But it's that far away from him. It's coming up from the floor at an angle. He's going to have to turn away. I think he dealt with that quite well. And overall, yeah, game flow was a little better.
Interesting point you made there about the handball, and I guess one of the things we were taught for a while with regard to referees was to say, there's no ball to hands anymore. That was always a thing, years ago. Ball to hands, there's no way you can get out of the way. That that kind of stuff. Has that kind of made a bit of a comeback now? Almost. I think. Looking at the Premier League, it feels like it has. I know that's maybe not the case in Europe at this moment in time, but do you think it's definitely made a return to the Premier League?
Definitely made a return to the Premier League. I think the debate is always there. I think the Europe approach is a lot more sensitive to it than we are. I think we're a bit more lenient. I think 2 or 3 seasons ago we were quite sensitive to the handball and sort of any contact of the hand in the box was sort of given as a penalty, wasn't it? And it was a disgrace really where it was going, the amount of soft penalties that we'd had. But I think now it is a lot clearer. But week on week and season on season, it seems to change. So it's quite difficult to keep up with it. But what we've been told we've got a referee sort of development officer on our league, and we sat down with the clubs and the referees in the same room and said he's used a good analogy of if you look like a seagull and you've got your hands up in the air, it's going to be handball. If you look like a penguin and you've got your hands down, and it's sort of this natural position debate, and if you've not got much time to react to it and your hands are sort of down or you're going up for the tackle and your hands might sort of be up, sort of sensitive anymore. That one for me, was it John McGinn? He was far too close to it. The ball's come up from the floor at an angle and hit him. Regardless of whether it was too far back in play, I wouldn't give that handball for me.
Yeah, and it's strange, isn't it, when you see some of the players still doing that's the mandate and that's what's been cascaded to the players.
Yeah,
you still see players doing stupid things like Mings last night in one of the corners. it was looking like he was doing a Superman, and obviously he never hit his hands. But it makes you wonder and go, why are you in that or putting yourself in that position to to almost get a penalty against you because you're in such an unnatural position. It seems a bit crazy, but that's the way the game was.
Yeah, and he's leading with his hand, isn't he? He goes up for the header with his hand on his head almost. And in the amateur game recently, the last game I had, there was a lad with a hand up here. I can't see it on camera, but it was up here. And they have like one of them amateur like tactical cameras, and you can zoom right into the incident. And the manager sent me I give 3 penalties in one game, and the middle one, he had his hand up vertically in the air. There's no question about that.
No Stockley Park for you, Joel.
I know, yeah.
Joel, can I just say on handball as well? I think for me, when I'm watching games as well, if it's deliberate, if you see a hand movement towards the ball, it's deliberate handball, isn't it? But if it just hits the arm, for me, and they can't react in time, it's not so much a penalty, because I think some players, if they're running or trying to close things down, it's hard to run, isn't it? Like a penguin, for example, it's hard to run. But if you're standing still, I suppose you can do that. So do they take that into account as well? If someone's running to block a shot, for example, and the ball just hits their arm, is that taken into account there as they're running? Because as you say, it's hard to run, isn't it? Like that.
Yeah, you can't really run like that. And you see some defenders put their hands behind the back, so they're sort of overcompensating for that. And they brought a law in last year or the year before. If you go down to block a shot and your body is going to hit the floor, but you've still got one arm out that you naturally would, and you then stop that ball with your hand. Yeah, that was classed as not handball anymore.
Yeah, it's crazy when you see players doing that, isn't it? They've got to run, and then they've got to put their hands behind the back to say to the referee, "Look, I'm not trying to handball it."
You can't like penalise them for having arms in the box. Do you know what I mean? Probably a good example might be the Madrid Champions League final, where Mane kicks it onto one of the Spurs players' arms, and his arm's up here.
Yeah.
He's asking for it.
Yeah.
But then if he's defending a cross and he goes down low,
and
his arm's out and it hits him on the arm, then there's a bit of leeway for that one now, I think.
Well, I think that's it from me, Joel. Cole, anything you want to add?
Yeah, I want to ask Joel one question about linesman. You might be able to help me off.
Sure, yeah.
So it was the...
Can't say that, Cole.
Assistant referee.
Assistant referee. I'm old school, aren't I? I'm old school, that's the problem.
Let me get a cancel, yeah.
It was the Everton match when I watched Everton versus Palace, and I don't think anyone else picked up on it, but when Palace scored that goal, didn't they? And then they give it because they said the ball went out of play as it was coming in, corner. Yeah. And then there's a couple of replays on it. On one of the replays, I watched the linesman while it was, when they had the focus on trying to focus on the ball going out.
Yeah.
But it also had a little piece of the linesman in there. So the cross comes over. And as it's coming over, the linesman comes away from his line. He's still got his flag down. He's watching the play. And then as the first Crystal Palace player heads it back, there's another Palace player in an offside position in the centre of the goal, but it doesn't interfere with the goal. And as he heads it back, as it goes back in, the linesman then puts his flag up. Now, they were saying the linesman give that clearly for it going out to play because he can see along the line. Yeah. Would a linesman normally wait for the action still to finish before he puts the flag up? Because to me, I thought he was putting the flag up for the fella being offside, but then Sky and everyone else said, the linesman's got the best view of it. He's put his flag up for it going out to play, but I don't think that was the reason why he done it. Would you normally expect your linesman to put your flag up straight away if it goes out like a throw-in, if it goes out of play?
I think the best approach to that is to wait. You always get told to wait. I think the confusion with that is that the signal for those two things, offside and going out to play for a goal kick, is exactly the same. So he might well have waited. You don't know what's going on in his head. He might well have waited for that offside to play out because it'll obviously go to VAR. He might have seen it go out stepped back to get back in line with the second rearmost defender, and then he's seen the offside. So either way, it's offside or it's a goal kick.
Yeah, have we got lines about waiting for VAR even for the corner kicks? Then do you think?
I know. I've not come across that one before, but
Yeah,
I think usually with the offsides is the advice is to wait. With the going out to play, there's probably less emphasis on that.
Yeah, I would have thought the way they would talk.
You're best just sort of taking your time to make the decision and sort of let it play out. It might just go out for a goal kick anyway.
Yeah, he actually puts it up when the ball goes in the back of the net, so maybe that's the way he's thinking. I was just dead surprised that if a ball goes out of play normally for a throw-in or it goes past the byline, the linesman normally puts his flag up, but he didn't. He only put his flag up when the ball hit the back of the net, which I found quite strange, really.
Yeah, he's probably delayed it because of
just to see what's happening.
The goal scoring, so if it goes out on the byline, that's his call, really. It's not on the referee or VAR is not going to get involved in that. That's ultimately his decision, and there's not really any sort of real outcome to that, which could be a goal.
Yeah, it wasn't even discussed on the match when I was watching it. I just thought it was quite strange.
Yeah. You see a lot of sort of situations like that where the commentary are a bit baffled as to what's.
Yeah, they didn't seem to know what's going on, did they?